Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here.
So what you're going to need for the little Babushka doll is 24 gauge wire, 20 gauge wire, some seed beads. These are tiny seed beads. I like to buy them already pre-strung. And you're going to need a little wooden bead for the head and some templates for the Babushka face. These are ones that I've actually painted myself. I'll link up below where you can get those, or you could print some off the internet. And I have 3D crystal lacquer, or you can use white glue and clear nail polish. So to make the little face bead, I actually painted this larger version of the face and shrunk it down. So I do have some printables in my Etsy shop if you wanted to purchase them. Otherwise you can find pictures, clip art online. And you'll need a little wooden bead. I'm using this crystal clear lacquer. You could probably glue the picture on with white glue and varnish it with clear nail polish. And I have my paintbrush and my scissors. So what I'll do is, depending on what size that you need, you can go ahead and cut out your face. You could print these out just on your printer at home, or go get a color photocopy at the photocopy shop. And we'll start by just cutting around the image carefully to get it nice and round. And then we'll glue it onto the bead. So the beads I have are wood. I would advise using wooden beads so that they're going to stick better. Otherwise, if you're trying to glue them onto glass or plastic, they might not stick so well. So if we've cut out the face, we're just going to flip it over. And we're going to put either some of the clear varnish or glue on the back. You can use white glue if you don't have any of this varnish. And just cover the whole paper. You want it saturated on the back with the varnish, and that'll loosen up the paper a little bit as well. And then what you want to do is actually take it, and I put the bead on a wire so it'll be easier to hold, and just place it on the bead. Now this part, you want to just kind of center it the best you can, and the trick here is to push the creases out. So with the back of your fingernail, or if you have a buffing tool or something like that, just make sure your hands are clean and that you don't have any glue on your hands when you do this. And you want to just gently kind of rotate your fingernail or whatever tool you're using on the paper, and that way it gets the creases out, and it doesn't rub the color off so much. So you can see there it rubbed the color a little bit, and that's probably because my finger was a bit wet. So we're just going to go ahead and varnish it like that, and there we go. So we'll let it dry. So we'll start with a piece of the 24 gauge wire. We're just going to bend the end around. This is going to hold the bead in place. So just do a little loop at the bottom, and then we'll put our teardrop bead and our face bead. That's perfect. And then we want to be able to wind the beads around here. So we need to leave a little bit of slack on there. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to bring this up and hold it so the face is to one side, and then bend this to the back and push it back through the bead. And now this is going to keep it centered in place so the bead doesn't spin back and forth. So just do that. We're going to pull that tight to the back, and then that'll hold your bead, the face to the front type of thing, like that. And then what we want to do now is wind it around with another thin wire. So here's some more of the 24 gauge wire, and we want to start at the top. Don't worry about this, we can adjust the height after. And we're going to hold it and then bend this around so there's one going to each side. And then we want to add our little seed beads. So the ones I have here are not pre-strung, so we have to add them one by one, and add about 7 beads. So you probably need between 7 and 10 beads on each side. So I think I have about 9 beads here. We're just going to bring this around, and then what you want to do is make sure it goes all the way around the face. If you have too many, just take one off. So I end up having 8, and then just bend it around so it surrounds the face, holds in place. And now do the other side. So for the beads that go around the outside of the teardrop, I like to buy these pre-strung beads. And so my little hack for that is you just like take a clump of them at once. I could grab 4 or 5, and then you just slide them onto the wire like that. So you could do them in little sets of 4. So as we did before, just take this wire and wind it around, and we'll do the other side. So we have the same number on the other side, and we're just going to take it around and wind it. And then we're going to work our way up and do another little row of beads. So I have more of the beads that are pre-strung. So just grab your beads, however many you can manage between your thumb and your finger, and just slide them along there. And just keep going until you have the right number of beads around the outside. It's really going to depend on the size of your beads, so you can check every now and then to see, and that looks pretty good there. So we're just going to bring that along there. Perfect. And now we can do the other side. So once you have the same number on both sides, just bring this around, and at this point you can actually just clip the wires off, because I'm going to add a different wire, a little thicker wire. The other thing you can do is, if you want, you can definitely add more rows of beads depending on the kind of look that you want. If you don't want to add an extra row of beads, just take a thicker wire. I'm going to use a 20 gauge wire and cut, you know, about 1 foot of wire, or however much you think you need. This is where you can get creative. You could do any kind of design that you want. So this was the first sample that I did, and I just did a couple of rows of wire there. So you could make those rows of beads or rows of wire. So to do the wire, all you're going to do is take this and wrap it around the top. So just take this, sort of center it, wrap it around the top, and then if you're just using the wire, it's going to be easy to form like kind of this shape that you want of the body of the babushkas. So we're just going to bring it around, and this, instead of having it go right in there, we want it like kind of curved out like a real babushka, kind of wooden doll like that. So make the shape you want, make sure you're happy with it, and then you can wind it around here, and you can bring it to the top again. So same thing, just go around here. This is a really soft wire, so it's kind of a good for an accent like this. And then bring this around the top how you like it, and then make sure it's about the same on both sides, and then you can just twist it around here. And then from there you can just clip it, just clip that one off, and then we'll form the other side with that. Now the head's turning a little bit. That just means I should have pulled this wire tighter, but you can still do that if you want to. If you find the head is turning a little bit, just take this and pull this tighter, so it's going to be more secure. So then go ahead and do, if you want to do a second, you could do a single row of wire like that. It's perfect. Or if you want to do a second row of wire, you can just follow what you did for the first one, bring it around. It just makes it look a little more fancy, a little more like a double kind of border. Bring that around, and then bring it up here and form the shape again. It's really a cute little design. There's a lot you can do with it. We'll bring that around here and just bend it around once. Give it a good pull and just cut that so it could go flush in there, and then push it down. Now you have an extra bit, of course, at the bottom, so all you have to do with that is just give that a little bit. You could just actually bend it right to the back. You could have done a loop, but it's kind of nice if you just are more discreet with it. So just bend it back, then you won't even see the wire at all, and hold this and just bend the little loop in so it's really hidden at the back. So there we have, oh my gosh, she's so cute, little babushka doll. And then you could put a ring at the top. So if it's an earring, do it perpendicular. If you want to put it straight on a necklace without a jump ring, bend it perpendicular here and pull this around And you could make it more fancy. You can do a double loop because this is a thinner wire. Bring it around and then just wind it around a couple of times. Clip it. And there you have your super, super cute little babushka doll. It could be a pendant, could be earrings. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more DIY wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art creations, be sure to join the Facebook group, the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club. I'll link it up below. And if you'd like to check out my wire work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wire, wedding cake toppers, and funky jewelry. And also I have a mailing list, so if you'd like to hop on my mailing list, I'll link it up below and I'll send you my free ebook, Wire Art Essentials. So thanks again for watching and we'll see you the next time.